Hi, Rafa here, and welcome to our discussion on a place to nurture. In this section, we're going to be talking about the systems that keep relationships moving forward. Everyone that we meet has the potential to become a relationship of some form. The trick is we don't always know how that's going to play out when we begin. So having a place to house the collection of the conversations you're going to have with people over time is really important. Now, a couple of nuances here. We always have to be thinking about trust and security, who has access to the information, and making sure that if confidential information is present, it's being housed in a system that is designed with that level of security and governance for safeguarding that information. Having the flexibility to adapt to different storage mechanisms is one of the most important reasons why we want to be designing these systems for having a human in the loop. This is especially true if you're working in healthcare. So the idea here is that you want to be able to have a record that attaches to every single person or relationship that you're going to cultivate. And this could be over the span of a week. It could be over the span of 20 years. Can you imagine all the conversations you may have with a colleague that you grow a career with across decades? I don't know about you, but it is really helpful to have a cheat sheet of notes so that when you go to have that next conversation, you can remember the things that you discussed last and also the most important elements about who they are as a human. What is their wife's name? What are the names of their children? Being able to surface all of that in preparation before you go into the next interaction with them is always helpful. You want the ability to capture not just the facts, but the surrounding landscape. Any observations that you have about, the conversation or the work that is taking place, what's true about the element or the time frame that is surrounding your interactions. Those are all things worthwhile noting and documenting in that record. And then finally, when we say move relationships forward, I'm thinking about people that I'm going to do life with. I'm thinking far beyond a singular transaction. I'm thinking about the series of transactions that are going to happen over the course of the next 10, 15 years alongside this leader. And I'm thinking about what are the micro steps that can be a part of our conversations and our interactions, not just the big milestones. I think sometimes we're thinking about the big quarterly update, the big meeting, but it's also important to think about the in-between spaces. And the best way to do that is to have a system that reduces the cognitive load. We are humans and we are carrying a lot of responsibilities. And so let the technology support you in remembering important dates and giving you reminders and cues to follow up with someone after a defined period of time. This is what helps us be more human. So you want to make sure that you're using a system that is robust enough to help you do that. A couple of considerations here that are worthy of thinking through. In the current set of CRM solutions that exist, very few of them do just the one thing. Most of them do many things. When you go to make a decision on the type of CRM solution you want to go into, you need to be thinking about, are there any rules and regulations that are very specific to your industry, to the type of work that you do? Because you have to be compliant with those. That may limit your set of best options because ultimately you want to choose a solution that's going to make compliance easy, not harder. Very important consideration. The next thing is, what are the different elements that can be included? I use a CRM that allows me to capture contact records. So all of the information about names, email addresses, phone numbers, address, what have you. And then the ability to serve automated marketing communications through pipelines, through pre-scheduled logic and conditions. I can build a simple campaign. I can build a very complex campaign, all from the same solution. I also have the ability to build websites. I can build small micro funnels or landing pages. I can also manage posting social media campaigns and so much more. And more and more and more. What's important here is what I've described is something that will be referred to more as an all-in-one platform or all-in-one type of solution. It doesn't mean that it is every single thing, but it is many, many, many things. Then there are going to be CRMs that are far more specialized. They may not do all those other things, but they do the basics of contact management, building campaigns. My point here is it's really helpful to sit with someone who understands the different types of CRM platforms that exist and where each one is best leveraged so that you can get an informed perspective on which solutions might be far more than what you need or which solutions you're going to max out on very quickly, meaning that in a year or two, it may not be robust enough to hold your ecosystem and you need to migrate to a different solution later. It may very well be that it makes more sense to go into the broader platform front, only activate the features that you're going to be using initially so that you don't have to migrate to a different platform in just a year. I want to encourage you to think about all the ways that you want people to interact with you online and in digital spaces. Then I want you to think about how much time and demand on resources is that going to place upon you. And then let's think through what is the user interface or your experience going to be in managing this digital ecosystem. Are you going to hire an assistant that can do some of the day-to-day for you? Or do you need to be able to pull all the levers yourself? And you may not necessarily have tons of technology training. Regardless of where you fall into those answers, it's okay. There is a solution that's going to work for you, but it very well may guide which solutions are going to be better for you versus others. It's actually a very big decision to make because in the present construct that we're all living in right now, we think that our brand is around a particular product or service. The reality is our sustainability is closely connected to the quality of the data we have access to. If you're going to make the investment to build a digital ecosystem, you want to ensure that you're doing it in a way that is respectful of audience preferences, legally compliant, and gives you the flexibility to have highly customized rich conversations around what your audience wants, what matters uniquely to them, and what is going to help them find success with their specific challenges. This is one of the most critical decision points in your entire tech stack. If you have any questions, please, please, please send me a note. Get on my calendar. Let's talk. Let's make sure you're making the right decision for where you are today and the places you want to grow to in the upcoming seasons of your leadership journey. All right, we got one more layer. I look forward to joining you on the other side in that discussion.